Get ready for a wild ride, folks. Today's video is packed with rare photos and insane stories, and you need to check it out. Hit that like button and subscribe stat. I'm talking about Annie Oakley, the legendary sharpshooter who wasn't just a gunslinger. She was a total badass. This isn't your grandma's history lesson. Annie Oakley, raised in poverty, learned to shoot to help her family. Seriously, girl power at its finest. At 15, a cowboy spotted her skills and bam! She was launched into the spotlight. Then she joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West show in 1885. And let me tell you, this wasn't your average circus act. This woman was a machine. On stage, she was pulling off feats that would make your jaw drop. Shooting an apple off her husband's head, piercing a heart on a playing card, knocking corks out of bottles, blowing out candles with bullets, and shooting backwards through a mirror. But wait, there's more. She'd tear a playing card to shreds with a .22 caliber shotgun from 90 feet away, multiple holes, and it still stood up. This wasn't just skill, it was pure, unadulterated badassery. Seriously, this video is gonna blow your mind. Watch it, share it, and tell me what you think. Let's talk Annie Oakley in the comments. Whoa, get ready to dive headfirst into the Wild West. Forget dusty history books, this is the real deal, folks. William Buffalo Bill, a total game changer, was one of the first cowboys to embrace the rifle. He saw the rifle as the ultimate bison hunting machine, way more efficient than those old-fashioned firearms. And get this is one of only 2 legit photos of Billy the Kid, the legend himself, chillingly cool, playing cards in 1877, at a mere 17 years old. Now this kid wasn't exactly a choir boy. He was in and out of jail like a yo-yo, accused of murder, tangled up in gang wars, the whole 9 yards. But despite all that trouble, Billy the Kid's still a symbol of freedom and self-reliance in the Old West. He embodies the spirit of the era, a wild, untamed spirit. And here's the kicker. Despite his reputation as a gunslinger and outlaw, people who knew him personally described him as polite and kind. Talk about a twist. So what's the point? The Wild West was a chaotic, thrilling time, and these figures with their contradictions are fascinating. They remind us that history isn't just black and white. It's a vibrant tapestry woven with courage, conflict, and a dash of the unexpected. Check out this epic photo. Samson Beaver, his badass wife Leah, and their daughter Frances Louise, looking totally fierce in their traditional Estonian garb. Seriously, major respect for their cultural pride. Estonia, way ahead of the curve. These guys were some of the first settlers in the American Old West, and let me tell you, they weren't messing around. These Estonians were total warriors and hunters, a force to be reckoned with in the wild, Wild West. Seriously, impressive. This photo is totally giving me historical drama movie vibes. Calamity Jane. Seriously, this woman is a total legend. Her reputation as a rowdy, Wild West warrior chick has basically cemented her status as a folk hero. This isn't some ladylike, tea-sipping type. Calamity Jane was a professional Indian scout, dressed like a dude, shot like a dude, swore like a dude, and drank like a dude. But wait, there's more. She could also find time to be a total angel and care for the sick and injured. Like, seriously? How does one woman do it all? Total badass, total humanitarian. Olive Oatman, seriously, this story is unbelievable. This 14-year-old girl chasing a better life in California, and bam, family tragedy. Attacked by Native Americans? Hold up. Olive and her sister Mary were the only survivors. Captured. 5 years captive. 5 years! That's insane. And it gets even more mind-blowing. Taken to the Mojave tribe, adopted by a Native American family. Imagine that. Olive had to adapt to a whole new culture, learn their language, and get tattooed on her face. That's a Mojave tradition, folks. Total immersion. Can you even imagine the fear, the loneliness, the strength it took? And then rescued. In 1856, 5 years of hell, and she came out the other side. This isn't just a story, it's a testament to survival, resilience, and the power of the human spirit. Seriously, get this into your head. This isn't just some dusty history book. This is a story that screams survival. Think about that. What would you do? How would you survive? How do we learn from stories like this? We need to remember the past, the struggles, and the incredible strength of people like Olive Oatman. It's a reminder that we're all connected, that history is full of incredible journeys, and that we can learn so much from the past. All right, history buffs and Wild West wanderers, check out this bad boy, points excitedly at the image of the saloon. This is a real slice of the American Old West, folks. The Table Bluff Hotel Saloon. These places were the hangouts, the hubs, the epicenters of rowdy fun. Cowboys, miners, everyone who was anyone in the Wild West was drawn to these saloons. Think of it as the social media of the time. After a long, hard day of wrangling cattle or digging for gold, these saloons offered a place to unwind, gamble, and get down with the local live music scene. And, let's be honest, a few questionable services were often on offer too. But these weren't just places for booze and brawls. They were a melting pot. A place where people from all walks of life could gather, swap stories, and forge friendships. It was social gathering central. Did you know? These saloons often had secret back rooms, hidden passages, and even underground gambling dens. It was like a whole other level of Wild West intrigue. They were a bit like a speakeasy, but more, well, wild. So next time you're thinking about the Old West, remember these weren't just dusty places. They were the heart of the action, the pulse of a whole different era. They were places of both entertainment and, well, let's just say a little edge. Let me know in the comments what you think. What other crazy facts do you know about the Wild West? Drop them below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Check out this photo. It's Jimmy, an 11-year-old kid snatched right out of the Wild West by the legendary Apache leader, Geronimo. Whoa, seriously, Geronimo, now hold up. This wasn't some random act. Kidnapping white kids by Native Americans was actually pretty common back then. It was all about getting ransom or using them as hostages to protect their tribes. Crazy, right? Like total power play. But this story gets even wilder. Apparently, despite being kidnapped, Jimmy actually bonded with the Apaches. He didn't want to go back to his family. Can you imagine? This kid, ripped from his life and choosing to stay with these people who took him? Crazy. Total culture shock, right? I mean, imagine the different ways they saw the world. This is the stuff of legends. It's like a Hollywood movie script, but real life. And it totally blows my mind. Interesting fact. Did you know that Geronimo wasn't just some raider? He was a complex figure, a brilliant military strategist, and a fierce defender of his people. He wasn't just about violence, you know. It's always so important to not paint people with broad strokes. Life is way more complicated than that. So what do you think? Was Jimmy a victim, or did he find something more than he bargained for? Let me know in the comments. Drop your theories. I'm dying to hear what you guys think. Guys, check this out. This photo is seriously wild. We're looking back at a time when medicine was basically a Wild West of figuring things out. Treatments for stuff like scoliosis were seriously limited. But then bam, enter Dr. Sear, a total game changer of an orthopedic surgeon. This guy was a pioneer, a true innovator. In this picture, you can practically see the genius. Dr. Sear's checking the patient's spine's curvature with a device he made himself. I mean, come on. That's next level dedication and ingenuity right there. His technique? A metal brace. Not some fancy laser or something, just a metal brace to gradually fix the spine. Pretty cool, right? He was literally shaping spines with metal. It's like a real-life, medical-grade, Frankenstein-esque approach, but it worked. This was a huge leap forward. Guys, check this out. This photo is a total historical and cultural treasure, taking us right back to the American Old West. We're looking at Bull Chief, a seriously badass warrior from one of the many indigenous tribes that called this land home. This dude's got presence, like seriously. Look at that posture, that intense expression. You can feel the strength radiating off him. Seriously though, this photo is a powerful reminder of a time when the indigenous people of the West were facing unbelievable hardship. The invasion and oppression by European settlers was devastating. It's important to remember that history isn't just about dates and battles. It's about the people who lived through it, the lives that were lost, and the cultures that were shattered. This photo is a poignant snapshot of a powerful individual and a culture on the brink. Did you know? Many indigenous tribes had sophisticated systems of governance, trade, and spiritual beliefs that predated European arrival by centuries. Their knowledge of the land and their deep connection to it was unparalleled. We need to learn from their past and recognize the importance of respecting and understanding the cultures we've inherited. Seriously, let's not forget about these amazing people. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. This photo screams the word indiscriminate when it comes to the hunting of the American bison. These magnificent animals were being slaughtered left and right for their hides, meat, and literally everything in between. Imagine piles and piles of bison skulls destined to be ground into fertilizer. It's a horrifying testament to the sheer brutality of the westward expansion. And it wasn't just about profit, it was a deliberate act of cultural destruction. The hunting of the bison had a devastating impact on Native American communities who relied on them for survival. Food, clothing, shelter, you name it. It was a systematic attack on their entire way of life. Did you know? The bison population plummeted from tens of millions to just a few 100,000 in a matter of decades. That's an absolute catastrophe. It's like wiping out an entire species overnight, and it had a ripple effect on the entire ecosystem. It's a stark reminder of how our actions can have unforeseen and devastating consequences. This isn't just history, it's a lesson in how important it is to understand the interconnectedness of everything and how our choices today will affect our future. This photo is a call to action. Seriously, guys, let's talk about this in the comments. What are your thoughts? And don't forget to like and subscribe.